Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is day 5, the power of habits. So hopefully you enjoyed this week, a lot of the good things that were in this book, but it's a lot of great stories in here. So if you get the book, it gives you a lot of examples. So it's not in a book of that really, instructions, and things that you should be doing, but giving you actual historic, if you want to use historic examples of society, things that happened in our environment, in our world, in our country, that shows habit of our society and our communities. Also showing companies and people directly, and case studies of lawsuits and criminal things that happen. So there's so many different stories in here that didn't go over in just kind of 15 minutes a day for 5 days. So I just want to give you an overview. And just today, just wanted to go over the last part of the book, actually like an appendix to the book. The author goes into ideas in change and how to change your habits, and really knowing and taking note of your cues, your routines, and your rewards that you have, the habit loop, as he refers to that. So I'm going to give you my take on things of all the different, kind of taking this book and other habit books like Atomic Habits, another great book that I love. And I have future books on habits too that we're going over. That's just a big topic of self-help, because if you already haven't known this or kind of self-analyze yourself, everything comes down to a habit of what we do every day. What things do we consistently do every day is a habit. Either unconscious or consciously, we're doing these things. But in real estate sales, especially the new agents that are watching this, I know I got lots of new agents that right out of school that are with our office, and know there's a lot out there that may be watching this also at different companies, is that you have to start a new habit. I've seen agents get into real estate that were very successful in other industries. In 9-to-5 job, they were excelled at whatever they were doing at there. But this, unless you've excelled at some type of sales before real estate, you got to start all new habits. And for all those people, and many of you probably heard me say this before, I'm a little biased to this, but if you have been in any type of sales and been successful at that, this is like sales on steroids. What I mean by that is that I feel that real estate sales is the best sales to be in. It's the one and only one that at least I know of that every potential person is a potential client someday. There's sky's limit. You could sell, when you're licensed in that state, like Ohio, you could sell any house in Ohio, any property in Ohio. But this is very important. A lot of brokers, managers, team leaders don't explain this to a lot of agents, is that not only when you get your license and you have your license right now, you can sell or take advantage of a sale of and earn income from a sale anywhere in the world. Did you know that? It's called a referral. If you don't have a real estate license and you refer someone to buy a house in Florida, you can't earn a referral fee for that because you don't have a license in Ohio. So I have agents that's 1 or 2 or 3 agents that earn more every year on referral fees outside the state than they do in the sales they do here. And especially when they refer business to places that are California, Texas, Florida, different areas of that where the prices are higher, commissions are higher, that 20, 25, 30% referral fee, whatever you arrange, could be more than what you have made here on your average sales here. So I'm sorry going off on a tangent there about sales, but I'm going to get back to habits here in a second. But I just want to make sure that point is clear. I stress that to everybody, is that what kind of better sales is there to be in, is that if someone reaches out to you and lives in California buying a house, and calls you first, you can help them buy a house in California. You can't advise them, can't give them legal advice on things out there, but you could definitely help them find an agent that's knowledgeable, that is good at what they do in the area that they're buying or selling, and find a good agent for them to team them up with. You earn a referral fee for that. What other industry has that? What other sales has that? But you have that ability. So think outside the box. If you're only thinking about sales, that you personally could go to their house or drive in your car or meet them at a house, buyer or seller, you got to think bigger. You got to think bigger. You have so much more to think that you can be involved with out there. So that's, I kind of got off tangent there, but back to habits today. So changing habits. Getting a habit, you're going to have to change your habits. If you're not successful at the level you want to be at, you have to incorporate habits. You have to change your habits. You got to get rid of habits. And the other key is you've got to know what other people's habits, the people around you, the people you spend the most time with, your family, your friends, your whatever, the people that are taking up your time. Taking up your time could be positive. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. That are spending time with you. You might have to help arrange their habits. Not change their habits, but let them know that your habits may change. Example, if you're doing things with family, friends, or social things, or you're responsible, if you're the responsible parent or spouse to things that you need to get accomplished for other people consistently every day, every week, if those times are not in sync with the new habits that you're going to create, you're going to have conversations with people. Wouldn't it be nice if you want to create a new habit to be successful in real estate, put your time in, and it doesn't affect anybody else, just about yourself? So that's the one thing I'm adding to this book. What I'm adding to other habit books that I've read, there's not too many that explain that you have to have conversations with other people. Some of them touched base with it. So this is kind of really going out to everybody that's watching this that really wants to change their habits. You have to understand your cues. What is going to cue you? What's going to cue up like cue cards? What's going to remind you what you have to do for the day and what you want to accomplish? Prospecting, that's the number one thing you should be thinking about. Following up with clients and pending sales that you have at the time. Working those transactions. So those are the two things that agents work on consistently every day. Well, prospecting should be number one. That's what you got to do. So what cues? Think about what things you need to do to remind yourself. Is it just simply a reminder in your phone, putting it in your schedule? Or are you going to have that a lot of agents have, well, I'm going to spend an hour, 2 hours prospecting each day, but I'm going to fit it in when I have time in between those fires that I'm putting out on pending deals and answering the phone. That can be done, but it's very hard to do. I know when you're busy, you can have one transaction right now take up your whole day. You can have, there's always something to do with a transaction. If you have a pending transaction, 2, 10, there's always something to do. So make sure you figure out what cues you need to do in the habit loop to do that. 2, the routine. What are you going to do? What's your routine? What's your thing? What are you going to do? You're going to make calls. You're going to be texts. You're going to emails. What are you going to do? You're going to go face to face. Or you're going to take a drive. What are you going to do? You got to figure out your routine. What's your routine? You can't figure it out that day. Well, what am I going to do today? So cues, routines. Last thing is the reward. What's the reward? I know we want rewards. We want something now. What do when you have a 9-to-5 job, what's your reward? You get paid every 2 weeks. You get a pay. I showed up for work. I got, in your head, I get X when you have a 9-to-5 job. X amount of time, X amount of hours I work, I'm getting paid for being here. Anybody work at a job that sits there and doesn't want to get paid or doesn't get paid? That's how agents feel sometimes. At the end of the day, they did prospecting. If they're not working on a pending deal, but prospecting, at the end of the day, they go, I didn't get a new buyer or seller today. I didn't, make a new appointment. I didn't sign a new purchase agreement. So you got to think of something either ingrained in yourself, pat yourself on the back, feel a sense of accomplishment, or you can have some type of reward. Kind of like sometimes people have when they're dieting or exercising. At the end of the week, they might treat themselves to ice cream, or they'll have a cheat day of something, and they'll do something. So maybe you could come up with what's best for you to make yourself feel better, that you rewarded yourself. If you get this accomplished, you're going to get this. Remember, you're your own boss. You're your own CEO, CFO, COO. You're your own board of directors. And while I just said that, the board of directors is, gosh, I wish I knew what book this was. God, I can't even think about it, but hopefully it comes up in one of the books I'm doing, but it just hit me. It says, think about if you had a board of directors, of how they would rate your performance at the end of every day. If you had a board of directors watching over you, because you don't, you're your own boss. But imagine if your board of directors, what would they think of your performance at the end of the day? Did you do a good job? Did you slack off? Did you spend more time just doing non-productive work? So think that's how I think at the end of the day, because I know there's being the broker and owner of our office, I have lots of 450 plus agents that I help and I manage and I watch over every day and make sure they're happy. But also I have to make sure I'm have a board of directors in my head of that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing to keep my agents happy and the company happy and the company prosperous. So I think about that every day, because I can't sneak off and do something and go, I didn't get my work done for the day. I could easily do that. You can easily do that. You might be doing that now, slacking off every day, a little bit here or there, because there's no one watching you. So back to that part of the thinking you can be, is think about it again. The board of directors, at the end of the day, what grade would you think they would give you for what you did for that day to help grow your company, which is your business? Board of directors, they want to see growth, they want to see profit, they want to see efficiency, they want to see all of that. Think of that as a company. So think back to the reward. Think of a reward that you could give yourself at the end of each week or a day, of something that if you need more than a pat on the back, more of that sense of accomplishment, think of what you can do. Give yourself some type of reward for that work that you did outside of the money or the new buyer or new seller. Because we all know you get a new buyer or new seller today because you did some prospecting, that might not end up being a sale. That's just a new appointment. So you might want to think of something else, because without reward or self-satisfaction or self-fulfillment, we're not going to continue with the habit. So that's really about it for today. Hopefully that kind of gives you some ideas on how to build habits that will last. Really do some self-analyzation of your cues, your routines, your rewards. The habit loop that the author talked about in this book was great. And hopefully this week helped you out with some ideas on habits and how to create better habits that are out there. And remember, please use me as a resource. If you want to come, you could hone in and give you specific habits. I've given this to dozens and dozens of agents over the years, and helped a lot of them of sitting down and actually time blocking, coming up with this. We work together, brainstorm on what kind of cues we could give each other, because everybody's different. What kind of routines work better? Everybody's life's different, and routines need to be different for everybody. And rewards, of course, that's different for everybody. What is a satisfactory reward for everybody is something different. So I'm happy to help brainstorm and come up with what fits you best and helps you with your business. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching this weekend. I'll be picking another book to go over, self-help, real estate related book to help you become more successful in your real estate sales. So that's it. Have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.